Hi y'all. So here is the video promised on skill stickers. You're gonna have to excuse my laptop, it's very slow. I do keep trying. This is about the 20th attempt on this, but we'll get there. So for the skill stickers, it's basically just a print and cut is what you want. So excuse me. So this whole premise is based on a print and cut. So the whole sticker is what you'll do. So you can use this for anything. It really just depends on what paper you put in your printer then. So I base all mine on a rectangle shape. So I'm going to click into shapes. You'll see there's no rectangle. You need to pick square. So you'll see how slow this is being now. So here I have my square. What I'm going to do is unlock my box and I'm going to pull that to a rectangle, okay? Now I don't do any specific size because I do my one sticker first, okay? So when you have your one sticker all done and perfected, then you can just multiply that and then you can print and cut it, okay? So I like all my stickers to have a border around it. Now you do your stickers the way you want to do your stickers. This is just my way of doing them. So I'm going to duplicate this rectangle. Now you can always use the offset as well, but this is just the way I've been doing it for years. It's the way I keep doing it. So I have my two rectangles, and what I'm trying to do is get a border around this one. So I want this sticker to be red. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on the red. Now I can go into the advanced and change that red if I want to be brighter. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is I want this one to be white. So I'm going to go to the color box and I am going to change it white. Now what I'm going to do is just make this smaller and kind of give it whatever kind of border I'm kind of looking for. Now I can open my box and drag it different ways. So I'm happy enough with that. Now you might find that they're not exactly even the sides. So if that is the case and you want to get them exact, you can select both, you go into your align and you center horizontally, and then you go in and you center vertically, and that will give you the exact same distance on each side of the border. Now what I want to do is I want to bring in my image. So I've already uploaded the image I want. So I'll go into upload. And you'll see here I have my recent uploads. So this is for my nephew. So he wants Lego Ninjago. And I'm going to click on the image and insert. So all I'm really doing here is bringing in my image and writing the text. So here's my image. I am going to make him smaller to fit in. A little bit bigger. And that's it. Then I'm going to write in my text. So this just takes a few minutes to come up the text. As you can tell, I've been here before. Sometimes for some reason if I press a button it'll come on. Right, so here is my name that I want to put on it. So I'm actually going to put that in black because for kids black is easier for them to see and read. Now, and I'm going to put his name there. I'm going to do that a bit smaller. I just do it to fit proportion wise. And we are going to get our text again. Now I keep it in Cricut sounds because it's nice and easy for kids to read. So this is 3rd class. So I'm going to do the same again. I am going to turn that black. And I am going to just fit it in here. And just put it in where I feel like it should be. Now what I'm going to do, now this is probably a part where people don't understand with print and cut. Okay, so over here, you can see these buttons here, the contour, flatten, attach, weld, and slice. Now you can see none of them are highlighted at the minute. Okay, so I'm going to highlight, I'm going to select this whole sticker. Now for print and cut, what you need to do is flatten. Okay, so weld is for something else, attach is for something else. They will not work on a print and cut. You need to hit that flatten button. So if you see all this here at the side, okay, if I go to make that, it's telling me a basic cut, it's going to print and cut this because it's a print and cut file, it's a PNG. It's going to cut this and it's going to cut this. So I don't want all that to cut, okay? I want to print this and I want it to cut the outline. So what I'm going to do here is, if you just watch this side here, I'm going to hit the flatten. And you'll see what happens now to the side. Everything has gone to one print and cut. Okay, so this is what this is going to do now. It's going to print this out and it's going to cut it. Now I don't want just one sticker, obviously, it's a waste. So I am going to bring this down, and I usually do my stickers about 2.1 and 1.2 is fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate. And I'm going to, I know that 3 of these will fit in a row. So I'm going to duplicate that again. Because remember, your print and cut has a specific size. Okay. So it's 6.75 by 9.25. So 6.75 this way and 9.25 this way. That's the biggest you can print and cut, okay? Now there is ways around it. They're very complicated. You have to mess around with your maths and everything else. I mean, I might do it eventually and show people, but for this, and you're starting to learn off, this is the biggest size you can get and you're better off working with it. So what I'm going to do now is, I want to fit as many as I can in. So I'm going to select those 3 and I'm going to duplicate. Now this probably will take a little bit longer because it's slow as it is, and when you're bringing in more stuff it's slower. Alright, so there I've got this many. Now you don't have to put these into order, it'll do it on the mat. I just kind of like to know how many of the stickers. With other things I wouldn't do it, but with this I would. So I can select all of them now and duplicate, and now it's going to duplicate 6. So I now have 12 stickers. So you don't need to do it one by one by one by one. And there we go. So I'm going to press Control and A, and you can see it's 6.875. The largest I can do is 6.75, so I know that's too big. But we're going to wait for now. So this is 5.788. I am going to try and do 2 more. My maths isn't great. Duplicate. Now I know I have to go back in and make this smaller in width because it's already too big. So here we go. I'm going to put that down. And now this will just tell me what size it's going to be when I go to print and cut it. So the length is fine. So I can fit that many stickers in. I'm not going to fit any more in. But it's the width here is 6.875, okay? So I can only do 6.75. So I'm going to press Control and A. Sorry, it's moving about on me here. Control and A. So Control and A on your keyboard will select everything, okay? So I am going to bring that in a little bit. Just make them a little bit smaller. Sorry about this length of time. Control and A. Now, another way I can do this is I can put in exact here in my width. Now, this is an easier way of doing it. if I put 6.75 and hit enter. Okay, now that's the exact size I need, because the most I can do lengthwise is 9.25. So you can see here it's well under that. So if I go to make it, now this may take a few minutes. Now you might find a lot of the times when you're doing print and cut and you've got a lot of, like you've multiplied it quite a lot, you might get that, whoa, it's a big project. But don't worry about that, it just rectifies itself in a few seconds. It just takes a little bit longer. But as you can see, mine might take forever. So basically this is the way I do all my stickers. It is so easy. It's very simple. It's just the most important part is you have to flatten it, okay? So flatten your sticker. You get your sticker first, you do out your sticker, then you flatten that sticker and then multiply. Because once you have the original perfect, the rest will all be perfect too. So you'll see when I go to make this now, if it ever comes on, we'll get there eventually. And I know this is daunting to a lot of people, but it's very, very simple. It's just remembering to flatten, and that's how you'll get your print and cut. So these buttons here are all very important buttons. They all do different functions, and I'll go over them in a beginner's class soon. Remember your shapes as well. You do not have a rectangle. You have to pick a square. Now here we are. Now this is going to put it all on one because I made sure it was in between the print and cut perimeters, okay? If I go over that, what is going to happen is it's going to give me a second page. Okay, and you're just wasting paper that way because it'll probably give you 2 lines of stickers and then a second page with more with 2 lines. So it's important to remember with these ones that you're keeping it in the print and cut area. So when I go to continue, now everything you print will have this black line around it. That's the registration marks that Cricut uses to scan where to cut. So this mark will be around everything you print. Okay. Now remember, I'm doing stickers. So I'm going to put sticker paper in my printer here. I'm not putting normal paper. Now if it's your first time, put in normal paper and just see if it works for you instead of wasting your sticker paper. It's always good to practice on something, just a plain sheet of paper first. So when you get to this stage, it's going to tell you to print, send to printer. So we want to send it to printer. So at this stage, I'm putting sticker paper in my printer. So the sticker paper, I tend to just put in as many sheets as I need. Okay, so if I only need 1 sheet or 2 sheets, I don't put a heap of it in because it's very slippy. I use the gloss sticker paper and it's very slippy and the printer won't take it in if there's too many there. So I just put whatever sheets I need in at the time. So I'm just doing 1 copy of this, okay? Now, important when you're here at this stage, you'll see when this stops spinning that my printer options will come up. Now, the bleed. I always leave add bleed on for stickers. I leave it on for most things. It gives that bit of colour on the outside, so you'll never get any little white marks. Okay, and you'll see the difference if you do a test and do both on sticker paper. You really do want your bleed on. This use system dialog. What this is going to do, if you turn this on, okay, it's going to bring up your printer settings. For printing stickers, you want your settings to be on high quality and glossy paper. Now, I use glossy paper on mine for everything because it just gives a much better quality. Now, it does take longer to print. There is an argument it uses up a little bit more ink, but if you have an Epson Eco tank, it's not something you're going to worry about because the inks last so long and they're so cheap. And I use the Eco tank. I do recommend it if you're going to be printing for a long time. Invest in the Epson Eco tank because you are going to save yourself a fortune in inks. Like, I print constantly and my inks will last me 6 months, if not longer. When I first got my printer, I think the first lot of inks lasted me a year and a half.